Hi, and welcome to Storytime at Home. My name is Quinn, and I'm the Early Literacy Coordinator with Newfoundland and Labrador Public Libraries. I'm so excited that you've joined me today for Storytime. We're going to sing some songs, we'll do a cut and create, we'll tell a flannel story, and we'll also sing some scarf songs. So if you have a scarf handy, you can press pause and grab that. If you don't have a scarf or a handkerchief, you know what else would work? A t-shirt or even a pair of socks. So if you want to get that, we'll get started right away with our welcome song. We won't need our scarves quite yet. For our welcome song, we're going to clap on our lap and then clap our hands together. Are you ready? Welcome, welcome everyone. Now we're here to have some fun. First we stretch. Can you stretch really wide with me? Our hands like so. Then we bend and touch our toes. Can you touch both of your toes? Welcome, welcome everyone. Now we're here, let's have some fun. Awesome job. I would love to have you guess what our story time is going to be all about today. And to do that, I'm going to cut into my paper here and share a short poem with you. And within each line of the poem, I'll give a little pause, and I want you to see if you can guess what I'm going to be creating as I cut and what I'm talking about. And our story time today will be all about whatever it is that I create. So let's see. I start out green, often fragile and small. Can you think of something that starts off green, fragile and small? Do you know what the word fragile means? Fragile means it's something that breaks very easy. Here's your next hint. I grow through 2 seasons on something tall. Now, what can you think of that grows through 2 seasons and on something tall? Can you name our 4 seasons? We have spring, summer, fall, and winter. I wonder which 2 seasons the thing that I'm creating grows through. But there are changes when the nights turn cold. So the thing that I'm creating, something changes when it turns cold. What could that be? That happens to me when children return to school. So what do you think it might be? And maybe my shape here can help you a little bit. We're not quite done, but it's something that starts out green, fragile and small, grows through 2 seasons on something tall. There are changes when the nights turn cold. That happens to me when children return to school. What season is it when children return to school? I am what do you think it might be? I'm a leaf. Did you guess leaf? On a growing tree. Watch me turn color. 1, 2, 3. Excellent. Did you guess leaf? Well, great job if you did. Today's story time will be all about leaves. And there's lots of leaves on the ground right now, isn't there? Because we're in the season of fall. And all of those leaves are falling off the trees. I think that we should do a scarf song about leaves. So can you get your scarf or your t-shirt or whatever you're going to be using today. Get it all ready. And I'm gonna hold my scarf on each end, one in each hand. Okay, so this song goes like this. Leaves on the grass, so we're gonna take our scarves down towards the ground where the grass would grow, so that would be the leaves on the grass. Leaves on the tree, so we'll hold our scarf up nice and high like a big tall tree. Leaves on the roof, and then we're gonna bring our hands together and do a peak like a roof, but not on me. And then we're gonna throw our leaves or our scarves up. Should we try it one more time for our leaves? Are you ready? Leaves on the grass, leaves on the trees, leaves on the roof, but not on me. So because it's fall and because our story time is all about leaves, I thought I would share with you one of my favorite books about leaves. The book is called Leaves by David Ezra Stein. And I highly recommend that you go to the library and check it out. The illustrations are wonderful. Today, instead of reading the book, we're going to use our flannel board to retell the story. So our story starts with Bear. Now it was Bear's first year. He was born late winter. And after the snow melted, he saw the spring flowers bloom, and he spent his summer eating berries and catching fish. Everything was going really well for Bear until he started to notice that the leaves of the trees were changing. They were no longer that brilliant green, but were changing to red on some trees. Some trees and leaves were changing to orange. Some leaves were changing to yellow. Have you been noticing the leaves changing in your neighborhood? What colors do you see? So Bear was a little bit worried that those leaves were changing color, but he thought it was okay. Maybe that's just what trees do. But he started to get really concerned when all of those leaves on the trees began to fall. The red ones, whoop, the orange ones, and the yellow ones too. Bear did his best to help the leaves and the tree. He tried to place those leaves back up on the tree, but every time he did, they would just simply fall back to the ground. And the more and more that Bear tried to put those leaves back on, the more tired he grew. So Bear collected all of the leaves, and he noticed a small cave. He took those leaves and put the leaves inside the cave, and then he crawled inside the cave himself and fell asleep. While Bear was sleeping, the air turned cold and the wind blew strong. Eventually, snow covered the cave where Bear was sleeping and was in all of the trees. Bear continued to sleep and snore on. Eventually, the air started to get warmer. The snow began to melt, and Bear started to stir just as that air was getting warmer. Bear crawled out of the cave, and he noticed something wonderful on the tree. There were small green buds ready to bloom into beautiful leaves. Bear felt so much better. He was very excited, and he shouted up to those little buds, "Welcome, leaves!" And spring turned to summer, and soon all of those leaves unfurled, and the tree returned to the state that Bear loved and recognized. Before we end our story time today, I have one more scarf song that I'd like to share with you. So for this song, we're going to hold our scarf on one edge, and then the words go falling, falling, falling. And as we go falling, 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 we're gonna sway our scarf back and forth all the way to the ground. So it goes like this: falling, falling, falling leaves. Mother Nature, can you ball up your scarf or your t-shirt? Did you sneeze? And we'll go choo. Because that's kind of what it reminds me of. Does that what it reminds you of? It's almost like Mother Nature sneezed and then all of the leaves blew off of the trees. And then we'll start to name the colors of the leaves: red and yellow, orange and brown, big and little ones on the ground. And then we repeat it, so it's falling, falling, falling leaves. Mother Nature, did you sneeze? Choo! What are some of your favorite things to do in the fall? Are there any activities that you like to do with the leaves? Do you enjoy piling all of the leaves up, maybe jumping in? Or perhaps you like to find leaves with neat shapes and draw stencils of them. Whatever you like to do with those leaves and in this cool fall air, I hope you are having a great time. Thank you so much for joining me for Newfoundland and Labrador Public Library's Story Time at Home, and I hope you join me again.